everybody. Welcome to this episode of Jacqueline's Journey. Get prepared to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly of my first 2 weeks after a gastric bypass. I'm going to do things a little bit in reverse. First, I'm going to talk about the bad. Now, when I say bad, I don't necessarily mean that I regret anything that I've done, because I don't. I am just talking about some of the things that I've had to deal with that are not so good. So please don't take these bad things as a reason for not doing surgery. I am very grateful that I've done surgery, but I'm going to do a little bit backwards. I'm not going to say the good first. I'm going to tell you the bad. Some of the things that I'm calling bad are just negative things that I've come into contact with. First of all, your emotions. Your body's going through a lot of changes, and the way you eat, and the way you drink, and the way you communicate, and the way that you fit in your clothes. A lot of things are changing, and your emotions may seem like they're all over the place. I tend to think some of it is hormonal as well, but you need to be very aware that you could get angry at any moment. You need to let the people around you be aware of what you're going through emotionally, and remember to really keep those lines of communication open, especially with those that are closest to you, because trust me, you'll need it throughout this journey. The other negative was the not drinking. You're not allowed to drink until 30 minutes have passed after you eat, and you have to stop drinking 10 minutes before you start to eat anything. Now, they warned me about this before surgery, and I tried to get used to it, and I just couldn't. It was automatic. So it's really hard to not pick up a drink while you're eating. But the reason why you don't drink while you're eating is A, you'll be too full, and B, it'll wash out the nutrients. So practice this if you're pre-surgery, to not drink 10 minutes before and wait 30 minutes after you eat. The second bad thing that I discovered on this journey was the shots. The shots in my stomach to prevent blood clots. I had to do them for the 3 days I was in the hospital, plus 14 additional days. And those shots, it was a big needle it had to get to push it in to pierce your skin, push it all in, and it just burned like the dickens. So it also made my stomach really, really swollen and bruised. However, the good part of that is it does go away, and I'd rather have to deal with that than deal with blood clots. But full disclosure, I found it to be a negative in the beginning of this journey. The second and third bad thing I want to talk about are, the second bad thing is eating disorders. If you have them, which most of us who go through gastric bypass do, they'll rear their ugly head. And trust me, no matter what you do to prepare, it's going to show up. But I'm going to save all of that for a future video. And then the third thing that was ugly was that I decided about a week and 3 days after surgery to have a piece of chicken. I was under the assumption that if I chewed it really, really small, that it would go down and I would be just fine. So it was ready-made chicken from a grocery store, and and I got like a little thigh, like a really little thigh without its leg. And I thought, oh God, I'll be able to eat this. Well, halfway through, I started to get burning sensation, tightness in my chest. I finished the piece because I was still in denial. I did not eat more than that piece, but it started hurting, and the pain started at probably 6 o'clock. I took something, went to bed, and from 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock, I felt like I was dying. That's how bad the pain was. Tim thought that he would have to call the ambulance. It was nasty, guys. Really, really nasty. I got really nauseous at one point, which is something that I hear is very common after a gastric bypass. I haven't had many issues with that. Maybe like right after surgery that day and this night that I ate the chicken. But I got really nauseous and proceeded to throw up. I know, TMI, gross, right? But I am who I am, and this is what you get, the real side of things of having a disability and gastric bypass. So I threw up all over the bed, which preceded me to call my mother and ask my mother to come help my husband clean me up and change the sheets or the linens. And what I found was it is very helpful if you're being sick to get those throwaway chucks and just cover them underneath you and cover your pillows as well, because even if I threw up again, I just wanted to be able to grab something and throw it away, which is something that they use quite a bit in the hospital. I totally forgot I had some, but I was grateful when I remembered, and I suggest everybody go out and get some, especially if you can't get out of your bed on your own to run to the bathroom when you're sick. Okay, enough with the bad and the ugly. Let's get on to the good stuff, and I promise you guys, everything about this process is good and will be good. Sure, I'll have my rough days too, but so far, I actually feel amazing. So what is the good stuff? At my 2-week follow-up surgical appointment, I discovered that I lost 31 pounds since surgery. I went down from 225 that I started at surgery to 193.4, something like that. So even though I thought I was gaining weight and that the surgery didn't work and I was having all types of anxiety about it, I discovered that it really did work. 31 pounds was amazing. Not only that, by the time I left the hospital, I was also off all of my diabetic medication. The doctor then asked me if I should, he told me, test every day. And if it got over 150, that I should give him a call. But I didn't have to call at all. And my blood sugars at that time were running in the 90s. So trust me, going from oral medications to Victoza shots to absolutely nothing was astounding, and I couldn't be happier. Not only did I get to not use my diabetic medication anymore, I discovered that in the beginning, if I took the same doses of the other medications, that it just seemed too much for my body to handle. So in less than 2 weeks, I was able to cut down my gabapentin by a third and my baclofen by a third. Gabapentin is used for pain and nerve issues for me, and baclofen was used to reduce spasticity. That being said, I was sure to tell my doctor, who was in agreement with it and gave me a further course of action. Don't do that without knowing something about what you're doing or checking with your doctor first. I had discussed beforehand my need to possibly do so, and I knew how to handle it. But don't just arbitrarily do it on your own. The final piece of good news for now is that following after my 2-week appointment with the surgeon, he released me to go back to work. So, starting last Monday, or by the time you see this, a week ago, I was able to come back to work, which for me was a good thing because I was utterly bored and couldn't stay at home one more minute. I won't lie, I do get tired at times, but otherwise, everything seems to be okay. I don't have the kind of job where I obviously lift heavy, and that was a concern of his, and he said to just make sure that I keep drinking, and I do, and I stay hydrated, and he said I could start working out after 3 weeks post-op, which actually, yay, as I'm taping this, today is 3 weeks, guys, 3 weeks. So, these videos go up a little later than the day I'm recording, and that's okay. But I just wanted to give you this quick update and let you know that not everything is sunshine and roses, but ultimately, everything is good. And remember, you have to believe in yourself, and you too can do this journey. I'll do future videos on my progress and what I'm eating, and I'm also going to do some other type of videos on what I do and some tips and tricks for things that I do. That sounded kind of weird, tips and tricks, but you guys know what I mean. So please stay tuned. If you like this video, smash the like button, comment below, and tell me what you like, what you didn't like, what kind of videos you'd like to see. And as always, hit subscribe. And remember, if you can believe, you will achieve.